Hi, I'm Dimitri Metzeltin, and in this video I'm going to talk about the Mackie ProFX V3 Plus series. But let's start with the Mackie ProFX series. The Mackie ProFX series are one of the most popular analog mixing desk series worldwide, and they are renowned for their Onyx microphone preamps. So we have 60 dB preamps here, so enough gain for any type of microphone. They all come with one-knob compressors, with EQs on board as well. Low-cut filters are there, and on the output side we also have then not only main outs, but we have them as jacks and as XLRs, control room outs. On the bigger versions we then also have additional monitor outputs, and where it's possible we also have the connections all in a balanced mode. So we try always to get the best level there. We also have a USB interface built inside. It's a 2x4 USB audio interface with a resolution of 192K and 24-bit. 2x4 means that I can record the whole sum of the mixer as a stereo file, but then I have two stereo returns out of the computer back into the mixer. This would mean that, for example, I can make an own mix for me as a sound technician and a separate mix for the singer that's in the studio. So very useful there to have two separate outputs coming out of the computer. Now we took the 6, the 10 and the 12 channel version and made a special version of it as well. So talking of the ProFX standard versions, as I said, we have 6, 10 and 12. Then we have 16, 22 and the 30 channel version as well, so 6 mixers in total. And with the Plus version we have a 6, a 10 and a 12 channel version. So that's 3 different mixers. And what does that Plus mean? Well, it means that we have 3 additional features compared to the standard ProFX mixers. So the first one is Bluetooth, and it's a bidirectional Bluetooth. So this means that when I'm using this with my smartphone for a live stream, for example, then I can listen to the people that are talking to me, but they can listen to me as well. So it goes in both directions. You can also use it just to stream music, for example. So I like to use this mixer in my home studio. I listen to music, and then when I decide to play along with a song I like, I just plug in my bass guitar and I can start playing with the song right away. So that's really handy without having to use a computer all the time to play back music and so on. So different possibilities there with the Bluetooth connection, definitely. The second option that we have additionally here on the Plus versions is also a thing I really like, is that we have 3 different recording modes. So as I said, on the standard versions we can record the whole sum as a mix. This includes all the channels with EQs, with effects and so on. This is also possible in the Plus versions, but then we have 2 different options there as well. One is called the interface mode. Interface mode grabs the signal right after the preamp gains. So this means that it works like an interface. It's not going through the EQs, it's not going through the effects. You're also not hearing the other channels. So just channel 1 and 2 going directly into the computer. Very useful, for example, let's say I'm still playing bass, or maybe I switch to guitar and I'm using a virtual guitar amp on my computer and I want to play along with it. If I'm in standard mode, it might happen that the computer return goes back into the computer and I create a feedback. So I don't want to have that. I go into interface mode and then I get a very clean signal right there. Talking about loopbacks, we also have a loopback mode. So loopback mode means that when I get a signal out of the computer and I want to send it back in for a live stream, for example, then I go into this loopback mode. So let's say you're using a DAW, like for example waveform that's included with these mixers, and you want to stream it live with any streaming software, then you can send out the signals to the mixer and then back into your live stream, for example. So that's possible there as well. And the third new thing that we have here is that we also have effects on the standard versions, but there I can choose between different effects, but I cannot edit them. On the Plus versions, I can edit the effects. So this means when I choose an effect here, let's go back, and then I have a reverb, for example, or I can go to delay. When I choose delay, I then can adjust the 3 most important parameters. So for the delay, that would be the delay time and the feedbacks, and I can adjust them right away there. But if I use a reverb, then I have different type of parameters. So for example, here I can then change the decay time or the room size, for example. So different type of parameters right there. But it doesn't stop there. We also can go into the EQ. We have an exclusive EQ just for the effects. There is a parametric mid, and then we have a low pass and a high pass filter. So this means that I can take out the rumble a little bit out of the reverb using the high pass filter. And I always also like to roll off the high end on the reverb, so I can use the low pass filter there as well. So really useful to have an EQ dedicated to your effects. And I can store everything. So this means that I can create my own preset once everything is set up and I have my perfect effect sound, my perfect reverb. I can then store it as a preset and recall it at any time. So the ProFX mixers are interesting for musicians, interesting for sound technicians, for content creators, streamers, than the Plus version. So this attracts, I think, to a lot of people. So thank you very much for listening and watching, and see you next time.